Okay, only 10 more presents to wrap. You're almost at the finish line. But first... There, the last one. Enjoy a Coca-Cola for a pause that refreshes.
You're listening to the Cruise Tips TV Unplugged podcast. Today on the show, we're answering our listeners' questions. Welcome to Cruise Tips TV Unplugged. I'm your host, Sherry, and we invite you to join our cruise-loving family as we travel the world creating cruise videos and vlogs. In this podcast, we talk tips, tactics, and strategies to help you make every cruise your dream cruise.
We haven't done this for a while.
We haven't, but it seems to be, each time we do it, everybody's favorite type of episode where we just answer random cruise questions from whatever social media platform we asked on that month. And I think people enjoy the mishmash.
I thought maybe people will stop asking questions.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You think so?
I think people ran out of
They ran
questions.
out? I mean, it's kind of like running out of YouTube video ideas, right?
Well, I don't know. It seems like it's easier to run out of YouTube ideas.
So funny. Well, first, I want to give a shout out to someone who left us a 5-star review. It's been a little while since we've read one of these. But Farron from Miami, what a cool name, huh? Farron from Miami, left a nice review on iTunes and had a little commentary about cruising, which I wanted to share. Title of the 5-star review is The Best Cruise Advice on the Web. Farron says, I consider myself a knowledgeable cruiser. However, Sherry and her husband are just so awe-inspiring. I learned something new with each podcast. Thanks to this podcast, my stressful drive to and from work is a bit brighter. I live in Miami, and I'm wondering if I book a cruise to the cruise line and note that I'm a Florida resident actually makes a difference in the pricing. I've seen instances where the prices vary based on the state of residence identified. Why does this matter? It just seems kind of scammy. Why the cruise line needs to know my state of residence. Keep up the inspiring work. Your family is absolutely darling. Farron from Miami.
Doesn't it have something to do with taxes?
It probably does. I love that Farron rolled a cruise question into the review. I think that's great.
You know what I like?
Yeah.
I like that he looped me in with that.
Yes.
When I clearly don't deserve it. But thank you anyway.
So Farron, there are residency rates. I mean, I know what you mean about it being scammy. Like if you're from New Hampshire, are you going to pay more for a cruise out of Miami? I think it's more of just a marketing tactic at times. They like to say that they have special resident rates and things like that, right? Like if you're cruising out of California and you enter your zip code and you get a special residence rate. But I don't really think that it's an exceptional discount ever. The only exception to that, and one that you might actually want to take advantage of, Farron, is that Holland America has this standby program that you, because you live in Miami, can actually participate in, where if you're available to cruise on short notice, you can get big time discounts on Holland America cruises. So just look up Holland America's standby program. I think you have to agree that you live within driving distance of the port to participate, but it's something that a lot of people don't know about and might be kind of cool. And thank you for the review. I like that we're starting off with a review/question. So let's talk for a second. For those of you who listened to our podcast last week, we talked about two different things, right? We did a review of our cruise on Norwegian Bliss, and we talked about Norwegian Cruise Line's newest ship and the entertainment coming to it and the shows coming. And Mr. Cruise Tips TV after the show was like, look, we just announced that they were going to have this big Elton John show and an Eagles show. What if we were to ask our audience what they think and who they would put as a musical headliner on a cruise ship? And the response was fun. And I want to thank you guys because there were so many of you who participated. We had everything from people saying they wanted an erasure show to gosh, what else did they suggest? Can you remember any of the other ones? I'm blanking out right now, but there were a lot. Oh, so many good ones. We had Whitney Houston was a recommendation. Michael Jackson was a recommendation. And then there were some other like really offbeat ones, which was kind of what we were looking for. It's like, can you help us find the kind of the offbeat ones.
Well, I think the challenge, though, is to find an entertainer who has a vast library and has quite a stage presence. There's a show to put on.
Right.
It can't be somebody with, that only has one or the other.
Yeah. So you did get some props on your Aussie suggestion. I did.
Ozzy, he would be good.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a few years from now, they'll think it's safe enough to do an Aussie show. I don't know.
Yeah. So here were some of the other recommendations. I found the post, and this is just a few from Instagram. There were some great ones on Facebook too. We had Karen suggested Alanis Morissette. We had a couple of people suggesting Billy Joel, Tom Petty, Phil Collins, and somebody else said Kate Bush, but maybe not mainstream enough. But we love that you guys kind of went a little bit of a unique direction with it, and we enjoyed reading all of your suggestions.
See, those are good, but like I said, with Alanis Morissette, I don't think there's any stage presence there.
Alanis Morissette.
There's no story to tell. Is
Yeah,
there?
yeah. With Alanis, yeah, I don't know. She's kind of depressing.
Well, the same with Kate Bush. The music's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
But what's your performance going to be?
Right. I don't know. I don't want to tick anybody off, but to me it just seems like kind of whiny.
Well,
But some people really love Alanis Morissette. What?
that wasn't exactly gentle. I don't want to make anyone mad, but man, that's pretty whiny.
Yeah, but Alanis Morissette is whiny. That's what I was trying
She's
to say.
angry.
Yeah, she's
I don't know about
angry,
whiny,
yeah.
but angry. And,
Yeah.
and a lot of people were into that in the 90s.
Yeah,
it
there
the
was
90s?
yes, exactly. For sure. Well, we'll move on, but we wanted to just say thank you to everybody for participating in our fun little experiment, I guess you could say.
I think Billy Joel's a good choice.
Yeah.
Simply for the fact that you're going to have the piano out there.
Yeah,
And that
yeah.
brings something to the stage, something
Right.
extra, and a huge library. There's probably already at least some tributes to Billy Joel.
Yeah.
Am I right? Maybe like the
I'm sure there are, yeah. At least
the
part
decades.
of, yeah.
He's part of the decades thing. I don't know.
Yeah, part of some lineup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move on. Yeah. Nancy says, is it better to use the cruise line's insurance or a private company like Allianz for medical travel coverage? There's so many nuances to this. We talk about travel insurance all the time, but in general, there's lots of different options for you. I mean, if you want to book the cruise company's insurance and you find that it covers you well enough, you can do so. Just make sure you talk to your travel agent about what it does and doesn't cover. Because unless you book your flights through the cruise line, like for example, you may have done that with Princess, where Princess actually has a flight booking element to their website. You can include your flights then in your covered travel. But if you're, typically booking a cruise with a cruise line, you're only covering your cruise. And the reason people don't use the cruise line insurance and instead they opt for a third party is so they could cover their whole trip, right? From the minute you drive out of your driveway to the time you get back, including your flights, your hotel stay, all of that. And that's important. But you also, if you travel a lot, you can also consider getting an annual private plan. And you can save a lot of money. That's what we do. That's what our family does. There are certain things that are not covered under an annual plan. But having that medical coverage, if you're looking for medical coverage, if that's your main concern, which for us it is, because in our home state, our medical coverage is specific only to use in 2 states. So we can only use our medical coverage that we've opted into in the states of Texas and Louisiana. Some of you may have insurance that covers you a little bit more nationally, but still it may not cover you abroad or in Mexico or wherever you're cruising. So you have to take that into consideration. But medical for us was a big concern, so we bought an annual policy. And sometimes we even supplement that with an additional policy, a trip cancellation policy, extra coverage through the cruise line. I also have purchased flight coverage before. So when I use the American Airlines portal to book my air, I can insure my flight through Allianz. I think this is their provider, I believe, and get a little bit more of insurance on that in case something goes awry. I thankfully haven't had to use it yet, but it's a good question, Nancy, and we'll certainly we'll certainly keep that conversation going. DP Mitch over on Instagram said, why did you guys move from California to Texas? I think we've talked about this a ton, but there are still people trickling in who, first of all, did not know we moved. It's almost been 3 years. But we moved because the cost of living in California, especially homes, was out of control. And we really wanted to buy a home and buy some land. And that was not going to happen in California. We actually loved where we lived in California. There was a lot to love about living there. We really missed the mountains. We missed the food. And to some degree, we missed the weather, although we're really loving our, the space that we have out here and the ability to buy a home for so much less and to have a little slice of heaven to spread out on and some pretty green, lush land. And we're really enjoying it out here. And it also allowed me to ultimately quit my corporate job and not do 2 jobs at once. We were simultaneously doing CruiseTipsTV and my corporate job, which was more than full-time because I was in a leadership role. And that was a lot. It was getting to be too much for me. And so this is how we made that move, we made the move. eBurge said, what's the best place to go in San Juan? A lot of people in San Juan just walk to the fort or go downtown, have a pina colada, and just walk around. There's the rainforest there, El Yunque. There's excursions that go to that area. There's all kinds of different excursions you can do, but don't feel that you have to book something there. And I am a big proponent of getting out and exploring, but in San Juan, I think I would do that for your first visit. Leslie Gunther said, what are the sites to find the best cruise rates? Comparing fares gets overwhelming. You know what? It's so true, Leslie. It really does. I think that honestly, though, the cruise lines have come so far with having accurate pricing on their own websites that you can totally rely on those prices to be pretty similar to what you're going to get through a travel agent. Your travel agent may sometimes save you money, but I will tell you what I use. And I know that they are a partner and a sponsor. I use the Dream Vacations website. My travel agent partner made a webpage for our audience to search for cruises on, and it's part of Dream Vacations, but the website sounds more like it's part of our website. So it's CruiseTipsTV.membercruises.com. And then if you go to cruises and you go to search cruises, you can search and compare right there. And it's great. It really is the site that I go to the most. In the past, I've looked at Cruise Critic and cruiseline.com, but I've really settled on this one because I've gotten used to it and I kind of know how it works. But Leslie, don't hesitate to just go directly to the cruise line websites. You're probably going to get pretty close when you contact your travel agent to that price being the same. All right. Tarek said they need a pre-cruise stay recommendation in Fort Lauderdale or Miami for February. And oh my gosh, we've got some really good recommendations for both. I am a creature of habit, though. In Fort Lauderdale, we always stay at the Embassy Suites on 17th Street. And so many of our audience members do as well. I've also stayed at the Hilton Marina, and that's a killer location. So those would be the 2 I'd recommend for Fort Lauderdale. Now, if you're sailing out of Fort Lauderdale, you could stay in Fort Lauderdale. If you're staying out of Miami, you can stay in Miami. 2 kind of different games, but my new favorite in Miami is the Gale. And the Gale is kind of different because it's not down on South Beach. That's the Gale South Beach. It's the Gale downtown. And they're a hotel, but they also have residences there. So people live in the building. But what that does is it's made the hotel rooms more like little condos. And some of them have washing machines and like washers, dryers, dishwashers, full kitchens, and they're very cozy. So we did a 5-night pre-cruise stay at the Gale downtown Miami. You can see the cruise ships from there, and it's actually a really short Uber ride from downtown to the cruise ship port, and it's a fantastic place to stay. Very walkable, really fun. You and Junior did a lot of walking. I was doing some work, and you would leave the room and go explore that little waterfront area. It was pretty fun, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. There's some good shopping nearby, too. They have like a little plaza just steps away from the front of the hotel, and they have like an Apple store in there, and I feel like they had some good retail if you wanted to go walk around and check out some shops. There's restaurants and things like that, too.
Yeah, plenty to do.
Yeah. So Yeah, Tarek, I think that's your best bet. It is actually somewhat budget friendly, but if you want really super budget friendly, one of the airport hotels might be a good fit for you in Miami. Just stay near the airport. My favorite airport hotel is the Sonesta, Sonesta, and the Sonesta has a shuttle that takes you from the airport to the hotel, and their shuttles are like bright flamingo pink. You cannot miss them. They run frequently. You will see them all the time at the Miami airport. And I love staying there. Stayed at both of these hotels last year for different reasons, and they were great. Sam Boucher says, what is the earliest time you'd book a flight out of Fort Lauderdale? Debarking Port Everglades. For debark, I like to do noon is my rule of thumb. I think you could easily make an 11 a.m. flight, no problem. But noon is my personal rule of thumb. So it's kind of what I recommended, just in case there's any kind of a delay down at the port. You don't want to run into trouble. Lauren says, do you prefer buffet or specialty restaurants? Ooh, buffet or specialty? Well, gosh, given the choice, I mean, of course, specialty is always nice, but I think the buffet is pretty good for a lot of reasons. I mean, if you want to just go grab a quick salad bar type thing, or you want to be very casual, you've come in off of a long day ashore and you're not feeling like taking a shower or changing your clothes, sitting down. Sometimes it's nice to just go grab a good bite. And some buffets are better than others. But of course, specialty is also super nice. So our friend Josine, who has been a follower of ours for a very long time, she is starting a professional consulting agency, and she's going to have a YouTube channel as part of her business. And she's thinking that her phone is probably going to be enough, but she wants to know if that's the case. And then she wants to know about Wi-Fi on the ship. So my opinion, Josine, is yeah, your phone is totally enough. Just get yourself a microphone that plugs into your phone that you can use for better audio. It makes a very, it's a subtle difference to the listener and the viewer, but it makes a big difference. Visually, doesn't matter. Just use your phone and keep the lens clean. As far as Wi-Fi on the ship, you need to probably purchase the highest level of Wi-Fi you possibly can. And you wanted to know, like, how does it work for us? It actually doesn't. We really struggle with ship Wi-Fi. It is not good enough for uploading YouTube videos. We always have to wait until a port day, go off of the ship Wi-Fi, and upload our YouTube videos using our AT&T. I'm just being totally honest with you. I haven't cruised with Royal Caribbean to see if their quote-unquote best internet at sea would do it for us, but literally every other cruise line, it's been a fail for YouTube uploads. Not shorts, not little videos, but anything long, forget it.
Well, we've had direct experience with Boom.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is Royal Caribbean.
Oh, is that? Oh, you remember what it's called. Okay.
And it is good, but everything is, it's a matter of degrees.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, most of these cruise lines advertise things like blazing or
blazing
or screaming.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're just
Right.
not going to get that. It really isn't possible the way things are right now. I mean, this is my background. I kind of come from this area, so I understand. It's unless there's a major technology change,
Mm-hmm.
it's never going to be blazing.
Blazing.
It's just
Never going to be. Yeah.
And
I believe you.
there's also a big dependency on where you are. So that can affect it too, and how many people are crammed onto the ship.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of comfortable streaming, if you're at sea, it's just not going to happen. I don't care what line you're on.
Yeah.
And maybe if you're on a private yacht or something like that, where you don't
Mhm.
have tons of other people there.
Yeah.
In port, sure, but not out at sea.
So you said it depends on where you are. Off the top of your head, can you remember some of the worst locations for us in
Well,
terms of connectivity?
Now we're talking about
Like
in
geographically.
port, but I can tell you one of the most frustrating ones
Mm-hmm.
was Victoria.
Canada. Oh my gosh.
Because
Yes.
because you could see the connection. It just didn't, like, you're getting 5 bars. And we're talking
Yes.
about cellular now. We're not talking about the
Mm.
Wi-Fi on the ship.
Oh,
So
okay.
that was extremely frustrating because you could see the bars, you could see the connection,
Mhm.
and nothing would happen.
That was super frustrating, especially because in the past, we have had a good connection in Victoria and been able to get a little bit of work done real fast. But this last time we were there, in fact, I
No,
got
it was both times we've
was
been
it?
there.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
very frustrating.
You had also said that when there's a lot of people on the ship, why is that a problem?
Well, we're talking about them, going through it's kind of like a lot of water through a small hose
Okay.
type of scenario. Because when you're out at sea, it's a satellite connection.
Yeah.
When you're near port, you have all the cellular antennas
Mm-hmm.
that can offer way better speeds.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a matter of math. The more people you have trying to get through that same connection, the slower it's going to be.
Yeah. Totally. I've found that there's certain times of day on a cruise ship too when it's really bad. Like you get back on after you've been ashore at a port, and as soon as you pull away from land, everybody is on the ship and everybody is kind of plugging back into the Wi-Fi, checking their phone, making reservations for dinner on the app, looking, and it seems to be the worst time of day for internet connectivity.
Everyone's got to get that sail away selfie out
Yeah.
there.
I think you had said it depends on what location you're in. Anecdotally, if I'm thinking about, I really dug deep and thought, when have we had the best and worst connections and in what locations? I will tell you, we had the worst connectivity at sea. I'm only talking about at sea, not in port, in Alaska. 2 weeks last year, we could not get anything done that required any type of bandwidth on a sea day. It was really bad. Best, I would say, honestly, for some reason, the Caribbean seems to be a little bit more forgiving, and we've had a little bit better luck with that. But if you're asking about how we do it, we rely on international day pass from AT&T.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
The 24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended, balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
It's a very popular program where you basically get global access shoreside. So when you're docked, you're just plugging into your normal AT&T, and it is a total game changer for us. It allows us to do live streams on Amazon and sometimes YouTube. YouTube is harder, but Amazon, usually we can get that done. And also just have a normal connection. So we really rely on that.
And AT&T has a relationship with Cellular at Sea too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is. Maybe they bought them or something like that. But it's not too bad. But I mean, you're not going to get screaming speeds even there. But one thing, if you're using their Cellular at Sea, one thing that you do eliminate is that massive surge of crowds, all the people going through the Wi-Fi, because you have your own separate connection.
Now with Cellular at Sea, though, we did a partnership with them last December. Are you talking about the same kind of service where you actually have to have an unlocked phone in order to use it, or do they have some that you can use with a phone that's not unlocked?
I think it could work either way. But I think, like I said, AT&T has a relationship.
They have a partnership
with them.
now. Mm-hmm.
So you don't even have to have anything special on your phone. It'll
pop up.
Our coverage is for basically the West, right?
Yeah.
We have Alaska, we have California, we have Mexico. That all that stuff is covered. Canada and
Canada.
Mexico.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got
so,
you. Mm-hmm.
So it's like that. It just switches over.
Yeah.
But it's like $20 a day right now. Something in
for
that.
all of that's Cellular at Sea is $20 a day.
Yeah.
So just so you guys know, for reference, Cellular at Sea $20 a day. AT&T Day Pass is like $12 for the first person per day, and then $5 per additional user. So you just have to look into these things. If you go to Cellular at Sea's website, they can definitely guide you through that. It's an option. But my preference is I always buy the internet package. I wish I could cruise without it, but I just can't. And I still have to use my AT&T. It's expensive too. I've got a Carnival cruise coming up, and I'm thinking about getting the 4-device plan for me and my family, and I think it's going to be $800 for 10 days. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I think that's one of the things that I really like about cruising with Princess so much is when you buy Princess Plus, you get internet and it's just not complicated, right? Like you get it and you have it and it's done. And if you need to get more devices added to it, you could just go to the front desk and add them. And I feel like it's just kind of nicer. And now I'm kind of ranting about internet prices, but I'm in a little bit of shock about it.
It's easy to rant about.
Yeah.
Because it is, it's a big expense and you're not really getting what you pay for. I'm sorry.
You're not.
I got to be honest with you about that.
No, you're not. It's a ripoff.
You're paying for what you can get, right? I mean, it's just the best you can get. It's not great and it's way overpriced across the board.
Yeah. I mean, if you're the kind of person who can also, if you can buy a lower plan, if you could buy some minutes or you could buy the non-streaming plans, they call them like social plans, go for it. If you just need some connectivity to home, spend less by all means, All right. Before Sherry gets feistier about internet connectivity at sea, I think you become more feisty when you're trying to get work done while you're on a cruise ship. It becomes more evident.
It is frustrating.
Yeah.
And I wish we didn't have that. Because if you remember, we used to do like these top 10 good things about cruising. And one of them was being disconnected.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
Seems like a long time ago, but it used to be so nice to not be able to, no matter what, worry about those emails because, hey, I'm disconnected. There's nothing I can do.
I gave it some thought with this cruise I have coming up. I thought, can I just not do the internet? And then I realized that most of the stops on my cruise are like semi-private island type destinations. And I'm not sure I'm going to have a super strong AT&T connection. And I'm like, I can't go 10 days without internet, maybe 3. If you guys are, if it's the families all together, we could probably do it. Just bulk do our work beforehand. But it's tricky. All right, moving on. Sheldon says, you've left for cruises out of Los Angeles, Galveston, and New York. Which was your favorite to leave out of? And there's been lots more. Sheldon, we've cruised out of Miami. We've cruised out of 2 ports in Japan. We've cruised out of Europe, Seattle, San Diego, Vancouver. So many. But I don't know. What is your favorite out of those 3 and why?
Well, there are different things to consider here.
Yeah.
So the first thing that jumped to mind, though, was actually leaving. And I got to go with New York because that sail away is just outstanding. It's especially, at sunset when the sun is going down. Unbeatable. Just a once in a lifetime thing that you can do over and over.
Yes.
But if you're thinking about other things like how fast you're speeding through the terminal or how comfortable it is or how easy it is, I don't know. I guess I have to go with like, I don't know, what do you think? San Pedro, something like that. It's like a comfortable pair of jeans.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not that there's anything great about it. It's just we know the routine.
You know the routine. I think for me, if it's for speed, I'm going with Miami, like for terminal speed. I do like the sail away out of Los Angeles, out of San Pedro, like you're talking about. It's cool because you kind of go back, you go past this lighthouse and you see the California coast kind of fading behind you, and it is really pretty. Long Beach is kind of cool as well if we're talking California. But I want to touch on Galveston. I actually think that Los Angeles and Galveston have the potential and can be a huge pain in the butt in the terminal. So to leave out of, if we're talking terminals, LA and Galveston can both be a bit of a nightmare if something goes wrong. But sail away wise, like Mr. Cruise Tips TV said, New York. My favorite sail away is still probably San Francisco because, that moment when you go under the Golden Gate and you see the fog rolling down those hills, it is stunning. I don't really enjoy spending a whole lot of time in San Francisco. Like in terms of like a tourist city for me, it doesn't hold any intrigue, but the sail away is absolutely beautiful.
I don't know. The first thing that comes to mind with that is how windy it always is.
It's cold
so
too.
Windy.
Windy and cold.
New York is really cold too, and it was
freezing.
But in a way, the wind kind of ruins the sail away. In San Francisco, you're like, I just got to get out of here. It's too darn windy.
Right. In terms of sail away, Galveston is probably the ugliest sail away I've ever seen. It's very industrial, and there's nothing pretty and charming about it. Now, I love Galveston itself. It's a funky little port town or Gulf town. I love it, and it's great to hang out in, but the sail away is not sexy.
You know, another one that might be like kind of the best of all things is Yokohama.
Oh, yeah. Yokohama's a good one.
For some reason, there's like this. It's really easy to get in, by the way. So
Oh, yeah.
you can walk right there, depending on where you are, of course.
You mean walk to the port?
Walk to the port.
Yeah,
and
port
then,
access.
And then
Mhm.
they're very organized
Mhm.
from start to finish. So that's always good. Now,
Yeah.
it does get a little hot, so that's a downside. It can get hot, I should say. But also, once you're on ship, there's this kind of built-in anticipation because they've got that big wooden, I don't know what it's like this,
They have a passenger. They have a
like a viewing deck.
tourist platform
But it's
next to the
huge.
ship. Yeah.
It's huge, and people come there. Some people just come there to walk their dogs,
Mhm.
but a lot of people come to wave goodbye.
To see off the
Yeah.
ship. Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, there's something very special about that.
Very moving. So what he's talking about, you guys, okay, so when you're at the pier, it's called Osunbashi in Tokyo. What they've done is they've built like this garden area on top of the cruise terminal. So inside, the guests go inside of it, and you proceed through security and you proceed to wait in this beautiful waiting area. But on top of the Osunbashi cruise terminal is a grassy knoll that guests can walk on, jog on. There's
But
benches.
it's deck, though. It's all covered in deck. And it's not called Yokohama?
No, Yokohama's the port. Osunbashi is the
Okay,
terminal. It
See-
is
see what-
located in
What
Yokohama.
do I know?
Mhm.
But if you go back and look, it is like a grassy knoll, but it's also covered in deck.
Yeah, there's
It
some
all-
deck up there.
Just tons and
Like a
tons of-
boardwalk kind of a thing.
Exactly.
Okay. Very cool. And but it's also weird to be eye to eye with people. Usually if you're looking down at a cruise terminal, they're actually up
Yeah.
like near your balcony sometimes because it's a raised platform. It's so cool.
We thought it was so cool that Junior and I got off. We got off and wanted to get a picture of you on the ship.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes,
So
I do. It was
we got
wonderful.
off, we walked around
Mhm.
to the decking, to the grassy knoll, as you were saying, and took pictures and then popped right back on the ship.
I love it so much. Okay, 2 more questions. Will Cooper has the funniest questions. Will said, is it just me or more cruise vloggers pointing to stuff off in the distance when they talk in their vlog? The viewing experience is much better if I don't see the person's finger suddenly appear on the screen. I have to be honest, Will, I have done that. So you're filming and you're like this, that building over there, and then you stick your finger in the screen and you're like pointing at it, like maybe like the person just couldn't figure it out themselves. Yes, it is a trend, and I think it's kind of going away. The first time I saw this trend was with the YouTubers Trev and Chelsea. They'd be like touring something, and then Trev would like stick his finger in the screen, and it became like this thing. I don't do it very often, but I think I have done it, especially with short form stuff. If I'm facing somewhere, I might stick my finger in. But yeah, it is actually kind of annoying and funny. You don't ever do that because you don't do first person vlogging like that. But
No,
I know what
but
he's
I
talking
am
about.
going to start packing a giant foam finger so I can get it in there and point things out.
All right, Will, that one's for you. Foam finger. Giant foam finger. Let's be clear. I like this last question from Trixie. Any tips on the best way to utilize the gym on a cruise or guidance on gym etiquette? I'm too intimidated to enter a gym on land, but I enjoy spending time each morning on the treadmill on a cruise. I've signed up a few times for the gym pass, which allows you to attend unlimited gym classes for one set price. I also learned about free morning stretch class. Are gym clothes or swimsuits preferred for the saunas? I still feel like a fish out of water not knowing the gym rules. I want to feel more comfortable and know any tips to utilize what's offered.
You know what? Before you answer that, let me give you my spin on it because I find the gym scene on cruise ships frustrating myself because it's a lot like on land in that it's different. It depends on what gym, where you're going. I'm always shocked because you never know what to expect. Sometimes you go in there, it's very respectful, very casual. You feel good about working out there. Other times it's like a total body show and you're like, oh God, just get me out of here. I don't want to be here. And you keep going back and checking. And it's the same thing all the time. You feel like this is just ridiculous. People here are not working out. They're just trying to show off.
But you still work out sometimes on a cruise when it's a nice non-crowded gym. And they're out there.
It doesn't even have to be non-crowded. It's a vibe. I mean, I hate to use that overused cliche.
Yeah.
But sometimes you walk in there and you're like, no, just no.
I'm out.
And Junior picks up on the same thing. Like he loves to go work out on the cruise ships, but now and then we'll go in and it doesn't really matter. Like it's not a particular cruise line.
Yeah.
It just doesn't matter. Sometimes you walk in there and you're like, no,
You're like, I'm out.
Yeah, this is not for me.
That's how I feel about thermal suites when they're too crowded. If a thermal suite is full, and you can't even find a thermal lounger, what's the point? Like I could just go relax on my own balcony. I don't need to sit with 150 people who are trying to relax in their robe, and leave their towels all over the place or whatever. All right, so let's answer her question. So first thing she says are gym clothes or swimsuits preferred for the saunas? And that is definitely swimsuits. Trixie, you could totally wear your swimwear.
Oh, you wear a swimwear? See, I just have the giant foam finger. I don't wear it.
And your gym shorts?
No.
Just the foam finger?
The
Visual.
I'm not welcome
Honey.
anymore.
You are not.
They don't. I'm not allowed.
Oh, no, you are not allowed. But yes, wear your swimsuit. I usually do a swimsuit and then I wrap a towel around my waist and I take the towel. I wear flip-flops too, Trixie. Wear some flip-flops or some deck shoes or something like a slip-on. And then wrap a towel around your waist that you can sit on in the saunas or steam rooms. And then get a robe in the sauna. They're going to give you a robe. And then you can take the robe and hang it outside the door of each sauna. There's going to be hooks, I should say, outside of each room. Each shower, sauna, or steam room will have a hook for you to hang. You can keep your towel wrapped around your waist and then sit on it. Some people also take 2 or 3 towels. I've done that before. Like it's a really steamy room. I'll put a towel under my body. I'll keep one around my waist and then I'll make one into a pillow and I'll have 3 towels with me. Totally fine for you to do that. And they should have an unlimited supply of towels in the bathrooms for you. And most cruise lines, if they have a thermal suite, also offer robes. I think we covered all of Trixie's etiquette. I mean, gym etiquette, I think you probably know, Trixie. I mean, you just, obviously don't hog a machine. If you're going to go on a treadmill, don't stay on it for 2 hours, maybe 30, 40-minute limit if there looks like there's a wait. Wear the proper footwear. Other than that, you probably already know. But
common sense.
And if you don't want to go to the gym, do what I do and just walk the promenade deck several times a day. That's another option too. Get some fresh air and just find outdoor spaces and skip the gym if it doesn't work for you. No one says you have to pump iron or go hang out with the sweaty people. Yeah. We sometimes do, but for the most part, we generally will walk more than we'll do gym stuff.
Yeah, these days, it used to be that the gyms were fairly empty.
Yeah.
All the time.
Right.
But now I'm finding the opposite is true. That they're just jammed. I don't know what it is.
It might be that younger people are cruising.
Maybe. But I got to tell you that I just like getting a workout by doing the stairs and doing the promenade. And
oh, yeah, the stairs. I didn't even mention that. That's a huge workout. Wonderful. Thank you all so much, friends, for your questions. We will see you next week. And keep those questions coming if you have them. When we put out the call to action on Facebook or Instagram, please feel free. Sometimes it takes a while for us to get to them, but we'll get there. Until next time, see you on the high seas.
Thanks for listening to Cruise Tips TV Unplugged. If you like our show and want to know more, check us out at CruiseTipsTV.com. You can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram by searching Cruise Tips TV. We'd love if you'd leave us a review wherever you're listening to this podcast, subscribe to the show, and tune in next week. Until next time, we'll see you on the high seas.